Welcome to the DMF. I'm Justin Yance. This is part five. The first actual hope of the Terminator franchise, which I think is Terminator Zero,
Right.
where
Me
we
too.
actually got something that was in the world of it, but different. Talk a
Com-
little bit about it.
Completely different. Completely different. And I am correct in assuming that's how we're even talking here in the first place is because I had the composers on and then
Yeah.
subsequently you had the composers on. Great people, Michelle and Kevin.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. And unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people have checked it out. And I think it might be because it's
No,
animated. It
they
might be because
haven't.
it's animated. I was tracking because I like to see when something that I'm interested in where it falls in the top 10 on Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw it go past 8 or 9 on like the
I,
top 10. You know what I mean?
I thought it was like on two, like the third one, like just the first day.
Oh,
I
really?
think. I'm not sure. I don't quote me on that,
But it
but
didn't last long.
no, it didn't last long. It was just kind of like because it's the new thing. But I mean, I remember staying up till like 3 a.m. as soon as that thing, because I was like, I have a feeling this is going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, but yeah, people haven't seen it. I've talked about it. I've said, go see this. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not wasting your time.
Right. Get Netflix, I know a lot of people got it recently for the Mike Tyson fight. So now that you have it,
Yeah, go
now that
see
you
it.
have it, watch Terminator Zero. I have to rewatch it again. I've only seen it once.
Mm,
So I know I'm missing details and I know I'm
yeah.
missing stuff that just happens on your first run through something. But just everything about it worked. Like there's literally an episode that opens where they're explaining the time travel. And that
And
was
that was great.
and it was great because I've always, I had a co-host for No Fate But What We Stream, and
Yeah.
we always had this debate back and forth about the timelines and everything, and that's how sweaty we got about it. Like we got real like sweaty, and it was like no no no, there's one timeline that like that's what he believed. It was all one timeline. I'm like that just doesn't make sense in my head, you know. So the way that Terminator Zero presents it, where you go back in time and you start a new timeline, I was like, oh my God, Matson, Tom,
Yeah.
thank you, Matson.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
they 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 understood. Here's the thing that I think also sets Terminator Zero apart from all the sequels is there's a heart to that film. You care about these characters, and it really just like they. I don't know. I think that's what's missing. We the heart
yeah.
of the characters. We care about where they're going. They took us on a ride.
No, sorry. Did you listen to the original Japanese or did you listen to the English dub?
I've only listened to the English dub. I usually go straight to the Japanese, but when I heard who was doing it, I was like, I kind of want to hear these English, voices because I like how they did it.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah. So I did the English dub as well. So I'm thinking if I go back and well, not if when I go back and rewatch it, I think I'm gonna really kind of hone in and see how the Japanese original sounds. Um, That's my only worry. My only worry is I wonder if that's gonna detract it from me, because I'm not against that it's in Japan or anything.
Mhm.
I don't know. I always say I'm a stupid American. And so I'm kind of but I'm gonna try to really kind of hone in and turn on the original Japanese audio and see how that's kind of makes me feel. But yeah, no, it's absolutely wonderful. I hope it gets a second season. I know Michelle and Kevin are
Yeah.
very hopeful, and uh,
Yeah. I asked them that. I said, are we getting a second season? How long should we
fingers
have to
crossed.
wait?
Fingers
This is
crossed.
just this. It's that's the first. I mean, I'm glad Cameron's coming back to, write this stuff, but I'm like, I want more of this world. And I almost think you should maybe do live action with this, maybe,
Live
you know,
action with like
with
adapt Terminator
like
Zero.
in Jap, yeah, like in Jap, setting it in Japan, and
Oh,
it
okay,
might
okay.
give it a different feel. I don't
You
know.
know, I one reason I want to talk to Matson, I haven't yet, but I would love to talk
Yeah.
to him is because I want to know if Cameron has seen Terminator Zero because
Yeah.
I know he's doing this whatever new script, so maybe he's avoiding to avoid being inspired too much. But I hope he checks it out at some point because
Yeah,
it's so respectful of the franchise and it takes it in a whole new direction. So to me, it is canon. To me,
yeah,
Terminator
same
Zero
here.
is 100% canon, which blows my mind. When, like, if you were to tell me 5 years ago that no, Dark Fate will not be canon to you, a Cameron included entry in the franchise will not be canon, but a animated story set in Japan will be. So I guess
Yeah,
anything's possible. I guess that's the point of that.
yeah, yeah. No, well, Mattson is right now writing Batman 2.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Which, ooh, that's got a lot. I don't know if you saw the Penguin. Uh,
Uh, I mean, I saw that. I saw the Batman in theaters. I'm just like, like my favorite is Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, and that's because it has nothing to do
yeah,
with anything really. It's just,
yeah.
it's its own thing.
You should watch the Penguin. You'd like it
I
because
would.
it's just it's done. It's done well.
Well, Colin
You're not.
Farrell. Colin
Yeah,
Farrell's great.
but you're gonna like what you think it is not what it ends up being. So
Oh,
it's I was blown away by it. I was like, that and Terminator Zero have been like my favorite series I've seen this year, because I just feel like they really tried to do something different with that.
yeah. I don't really
So
watch any series because I just don't like. I can't.
yeah, no, that's cool.
It's too time consuming. So that's
Yeah,
why film is so much better, in my opinion. It's one
yeah,
hour, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. Get out.
yeah.
You
And
know.
that's what was kind of cool about Terminator Zero, is that it's not that long. You can almost wrap it up in like, one day. I watched it in one day. It's like,
Holy crap!
because I was just like, I can't. I had to do something, and then I was like, okay, all right, now come back home. All right, watch the rest of it, and then come back. It just kept coming back because I was like, I have to see this thing. It was so. I was just blown away. I was like, finally something that like I could be proud of and not just go, well, that was good.
Right, right.
Lying to myself like I did like with Terminator Genesis when I came. So, well, it wasn't that bad. And then I'm like thinking about, no, it's not exactly awful. What am
Yep,
I what am I doing? What
yep.
am I doing here? Where would you like to see the franchise go in the future?
Oh Jesus, I don't know. See, this is why I'm not a filmmaker because I'd literally be in the writers' room and they'd go, "All right, Eddie, what are your ideas?" I'd go, let's watch Terminator 2." Uh, it's like I don't
Yeah,
know because you
yeah,
can't top that. Terminator. Oh,
yeah.
as much as I love Terminator Zero, it doesn't top T2. Uh,
No,
so still, even the best thing we've gotten can't come close to that. So I don't know. Personally, I'd say, guys, let's just not do this. Let's let's pull the plug on this, and let's come up with something else, or find some other franchise. This is what. So this is another reason I'm not a filmmaker
you
because
know what I've always wanted them to do, and I thought they kind of left this always on the table, is having John Connor's like rise to power and doing some kind of thing where he's kind of I don't know, trying to decide whether he's going to be, kind of dictatorial, or be this hero, and having to decide on how he sees the machines. I don't know. I thought that might be something to do, because they've never really, the only like real depth we've gotten with John Connor was, the second one. That's
Hmm.
like been the best one. I mean, they had a chance to do it with Christian Bale's. I mean, he's the actor to do it with, but they just there's no real character to that. It's just point A to point B type of thing. I don't know.
and
It's just
and my understanding with Salvation was the character of John Connor was very minute in terms.
yeah,
And then once Bale signed on, they rewrote it to include him a little more because of his
yeah,
star power. But initially, John Connor in Salvation was not supposed to really be anything, to my understanding. And then Christian Bale signs on, and they're like, "Oh my God, we have Christian Bale. Well, we got to give him more to do." And then he gets upset and yells at the guy with the lighting the scene.
which
What
I can
don't you
understand
effing
as an actor.
understand?
with as an actor, I can if he was actually changing the lights in front of him as he's trying to act, I would be like, "Oh, I wouldn't probably act like that," but I mean, you know, judging, but I don't know how many takes they probably did of that. Maybe, that was like the 30th take, and he was just like, and that's what they caught.
And then he signed the contract. Well, he signed the contract, and then he realized what the movie was, and so that probably upset him as well. And he probably
Yeah,
had cold oatmeal in the mornings. It's just it was
yeah.
all a recipe for disaster.
I mean, they brought in Jonathan Nolan to like kind of do like a rewrite on it, but it just never really. I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know. Terminator Salvation had moments of good stuff to it, but it just never materialized. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.